What if I told you that one of the most dangerous dark horses at Indian Wells this year isn't a former Grand Slam champion, isn't a top 5 seed, but a young Filipina who has been quietly building something special? Stay with me, because this story isn't just about a tournament. It's about timing, belief, and a player who might be ready to flip the script. We're talking about Alexandra Eala and her breakthrough opportunity at the Indian Wells Open. Alex Eala arrives at Indian Wells with something every rising player dreams of: momentum and respect. She earned a Round 1 bye, which is not just a lucky draw. A bye means you're seeded or recognized strongly enough to skip the opening round. That's trust from the tournament. That's status. That's a signal that she's no longer just up and coming. She's here. Instead of battling through an opening round grind under desert heat, Alex gets extra days to train, adjust to the courts, and study her potential opponents. And those opponents are no joke. She's set to face either Zhang Shuai, a veteran with years of experience and a calm, tactical style, or Diana Yastremska, one of the most explosive ball strikers on tour. Two completely different challenges. Two completely different game plans. Against Zhang Shuai, Alex would need patience. Zhang is the type of player who absorbs pace, redirects shots, and waits for mistakes. That means long rallies, heavy topspin, discipline. Alex would need to construct points carefully, using her left-handed angles to open up the court and pull Zhang wide. Against Yastremska, it's a different story. That's raw power, first strike tennis, big serves and aggressive returns. In that matchup, Alex would need controlled aggression. She'd have to stay composed, defend smartly, and pick the right moments to counterattack. Either way, this is where growth shows. Let's zoom out for a second. Alexandra Eala didn't just appear overnight. She's a former junior U.S. Open champion. She trained at the prestigious Rafa Nadal Academy, where discipline is non-negotiable and mental toughness is built daily. Training in Spain shaped her game in a very specific way. Heavy topspin forehands, strong footwork on hard courts, and the ability to construct points instead of rushing them. You can see the Nadal influence in her intensity. She doesn't tank points. She fights for every rally. She tracks down balls that look unreachable. And maybe most importantly, she competes with heart. Over the past year, there's been visible improvement in her serve. It's more reliable, more confident. Her first serve percentage has climbed, and her second serve has become less attackable. That matters in a tournament like Indian Wells, where the courts are slower and rallies extend longer than usual. The desert conditions reward players who can grind, who can defend, and who can think 2 or 3 shots ahead. Indian Wells is often called the 5th Grand Slam. The atmosphere is massive. The stadium is packed. The pressure is real. But here's the interesting part. This tournament has a history of surprise runs. Players who aren't expected to go deep suddenly catch fire in the dry California air and find themselves in the later rounds. And this year, something surprising happened off the court. Readers of Tennis Gazette backed Alex Eala to win Indian Wells. Let that sink in. Not just to make a decent run, not just to upset a seeded player, to win it. That kind of fan confidence doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from watching her trajectory, from noticing how she handles big moments better now, from seeing how her movement has sharpened and how her shot selection has matured. There's also something powerful about being underestimated. When you step onto court with nothing to lose, you swing freer. You play braver. The pressure shifts to the higher-ranked opponent, and Alex thrives in that space. Her left-handed game is naturally tricky. Many players on tour are used to facing right-handers week after week. A lefty changes angles, changes spin, changes patterns. That wide serve on the ad side pulls opponents off the court. That cross-court forehand jumps differently. Those small adjustments force opponents to rethink their rhythm. Another key factor is her team. Behind Alex is a structured support system. Coaches refining strategy, fitness trainers building endurance for long matches, and analysts breaking down opponent tendencies. Indian Wells matches can stretch over 2 hours easily. Physical conditioning becomes a weapon. You can't fake stamina in the desert heat, and Alex looks physically stronger than ever. Her court coverage has improved. She transitions from defense to offense faster. She's more balanced when striking on the run. These are subtle improvements, but at this level, subtle is everything. So what can we realistically expect from her at Indian Wells? First, the opening match will set the tone. If she starts confidently, holds serve early, and finds her rhythm from the baseline, she can build belief quickly. Tennis is a momentum sport. A strong start can snowball into a deep run. Second, watch her first serve. If she's landing above 60%, she'll control more rallies. That allows her to dictate with her forehand and avoid being pinned on defense. Third, her mental composure. Indian Wells crowds can be loud and intense. Big points will come. Break points. Set points. Maybe even tiebreakers. How she handles those moments could define her tournament. But here's the bigger picture. Even beyond this event, Eala represents something important for Philippine tennis and Southeast Asian tennis as a whole. She's proving that players from emerging tennis nations can compete at the highest level. She's carrying expectation, yes, but also opportunity. If she makes a deep run, quarterfinals, semifinals, maybe even the final, it wouldn't just be a personal achievement. It would be a statement. And if she somehow lifts the trophy, that would be one of the most unexpected and inspiring stories of the season. Indian Wells is a tournament where stars are born. It's where narratives change. It's where belief turns into proof. Alexandra Eala has the tools. She has the training. She has the hunger. Now she has the stage. So as the desert sun sets over California and the matches unfold under the lights, keep your eyes on her. Because sometimes the biggest breakthroughs don't come from the loudest names. They come from the players who have been quietly preparing for this exact moment. And this might just be hers.